You've seen the advertisements, smiling, happy people on board big, colorful ships, but you have no idea where to start. What do I wear? What do I need to take with me? How do I make sure I get the most for my money? After dozens and dozens of cruises, we've put together 15 of our best tips to help you avoid making mistakes on your next cruise. Make sure you watch all the way to the end for the biggest tips of all. Number 1 on our list is to get set up on the cruise line's website and to get their app downloaded onto your phone as soon as you book the cruise. Most cruise lines have moved online check-in to the app. Some still have it on the website. The more time you take to get familiar with the app ahead of boarding the cruise, the better off you'll be. Checking in online may also assign a boarding time to you. This is your window to arrive at the port and get on board with a minimal wait. Each cruise line is different when it comes to this policy and when they're open for online check-in. Research this well in advance so you have your choice of arrival times. Second on our list is all about starting out relaxed. If you don't have an assigned time to arrive at the port, don't rush to be there as soon as boarding starts. You may be greeted with long lines to check in. Take your time, get that late checkout of the hotel and have a leisurely breakfast. Often your stateroom won't be ready until early afternoon, so why rush? The exception to this rule is if you need to get on board quickly to book specialty restaurants or activities that can only be booked on board. Again, research is really important here. Don't forget to pack your bathing suit and other essentials like medication, phone charger, and important documents in your carry-on bag. You will need your passport and tickets on hand for check-in. Helpful porters will be waiting to take your luggage at the curb. It'll be delivered to your stateroom within a couple of hours. And don't forget to tip. Don't make the mistake of carrying all your luggage on board with you. Often your stateroom won't be ready as soon as you board, so you'll be wheeling luggage all over the ship. Elevators near the gangway are going to be very busy. If you've done your research ahead of time, there may be easy alternate routes to other elevators that aren't packed like sardines. This is a tough one for some more than others. Number 4 is don't overpack. Most cruise lines don't have a real limit on the amount of baggage you can bring with you. Obviously, if you're flying, there are limits. Porters will be available to help at the terminal for a cost, of course, but there will be times when you have to handle all those bags. Reduce the stress. Staterooms are generally small and have limited storage in some cases. More stuff equals more cramped. Many ships have self-service laundry at a reasonable price and you can send out dress clothes for cleaning. You also have to store your suitcases either in closets or under the bed, so the less cases, the easier it is. 5th on our list is everyone's favorite cruise activity, eating at the buffet. Stop yourself. Whatever you do, don't rush to the buffet when you first board the ship. The busiest you're going to see that buffet is embarkation day, especially if you get on board early. Instead, see if one of the dining rooms is open for a nice relaxed lunch. If the dining room doesn't seat you, the ship may have other quick service locations or specialty restaurants available to you, depending on your package. This is a great time to check them out. Number 6 on our list is research. Before you book your cruise, do a little research on the ports the ship will visit. What attractions are nearby and what are the must-sees? After you book your cruise, it's time to really research those ports. Do it early and make some notes for yourself. Find out where the ship docks. It's not often in the center of town. How do you get to the sites you want to see? Is there a shuttle or organized tour? Take the time that you have in port and make a reasonable schedule for yourself. You won't see it all in one day, so concentrate on what's important and make sure you leave yourself plenty of time to get back on board. That leads us into number 7. After you've researched the port and you know what you want to do, it's time to figure out how you're doing it. The ship may offer a number of shore excursions. In most cases, these are not included in the cost of the cruise. They are often overpriced, but they have the advantage of a guarantee that the ship will wait for you provided you stick with your tour if the tour is late. Meeting a ship's tour is also generally seamless, either meeting in a public space and being walked out to transportation or meeting on shore. There are also a number of very good independent tour companies who curate the best local companies in the port and will arrange everything for you. The best companies will offer a return-to-ship guarantee and the cost is generally lower. Independent arrangements may also have a lower number of guests participating and may take you to places that won't accommodate larger tour groups. Finally, in many ports you'll find taxi drivers or unauthorized tour guides vying for your business. You run the risk of missing the ship if something breaks down, and personal security should be taken into account. For me personally, I've had several good taxi tours over the year, but it's not my first choice. You won't want to miss the final 2 tips. Keep watching to the end because not listening to these will cost you big money. Remember when we said research? Number 8 is where you put this into action. If there are specialty dining reservations such as the Chef's Table, Steakhouse, or other locations such as Royal Caribbean's Izumi Hibachi that you must book when you get on board, now is the time to do it. You should make this a priority and get on the phone to the reservations line, visit a restaurant, or do it through the app if available. If you wait, you will be disappointed. The same goes for special onboard activities that require a reservation. This differs from cruise line to cruise line, but why am I telling you this? You already did the research for your particular case. Cell phone providers have an at-sea service on board many ships, but the cost can be astronomical. This is not related to the internet service that the ship provides. The cruise line also doesn't have any control over this service, so if you end up with a huge bill, that's between you and your carrier. Best practice is to put your phone in airplane mode when you get on board and leave it there. Number 10 is a no-brainer. Use a travel agent instead of trying to do everything yourself. An agent who has cruise experience can help you in many aspects of selecting a cruise line and an itinerary, making sure it's right for you. Agents with large organizations also have access to specials and group pricing that isn't advertised to the general public. A cruise line's price won't be lower than what an agent can offer. They don't compete with each other. While you're on board the ship, consider booking a future cruise or future cruise credit. They often have a bonus offer or onboard credits attached. Your onboard booking will be transferred to your agent to arrange those fine details. At number 11, be sure to have travel insurance. Don't just assume that your credit card or personal health insurance coverage will cover you while out of the country. Contact the carrier and make sure all the details are correct and that everyone in your party is covered. At a minimum, you need emergency medical insurance, but you may also want to consider trip cancellation and interruption insurance, just in case you have to cancel at the last moment or leave the trip early. This will help you get some of your non-refundable money back. Many carriers also offer deluxe or complete packages that include luggage coverage and flight accident insurance, as well as medical. Often these packages need to be purchased immediately after you book the cruise. You'll need to assess what your loss tolerance is if something goes sideways. A travel agent can really help with this. During your research or when you are working with your travel agent, have a look at the packages and bundles that cruise lines offer. They can often save you a lot of money. Some packages include your drinks, gratuities, Wi-Fi, and more. This differs from cruise line to cruise line, and the packages are usually tailored to the type of passenger that the cruise line typically caters to. Look for promotions from the cruise line as well that include extras, but be careful that they don't add more to the cost than you can consume. Some cruise lines offer a free drink package but charge you 20% gratuities on the value of the package, as if you consume 15 drinks per day. Many of the ships today are so big you won't have a chance to do everything on board during a single cruise. During your research, pick things that are most important to you and make a list. Make sure you know what needs to be booked ahead of time. Knowing this, you'll be able to pace yourself and enjoy what's most important to you. Okay, we're down to our final 2 tips, and these are the most important of all. This is a great time to hit the like button, press subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get alerted when we post more news, reviews, tips, and tricks from the cruising world. We've all seen the Pier Runner videos. Do not be that person. The ship has no obligation to wait for you, and the expense of getting to the next port or the end port is entirely yours. Most ships adjust their time as you sail to match the ports you're going to be in, but some don't. When they don't adjust, this causes confusion for some passengers between ship's time and shore time, or the time that's shown in your cell phone. The ship will leave at the appointed departure time according to ship's time. You need to plan your day properly when arranging tours or setting out on a local tour. If you're using a ship shore excursion, you're guaranteed to be back in port to meet the ship. Independent tours can't do this, although most reputable ones will have a guarantee to get you to the next port if you miss the ship due to their mistake. Finally, watch your alcohol intake while on shore. Especially in Caribbean ports, it's easy to sit down and drink far too much in the warm sunshine and completely lose track of time. If you're traveling with young adults who normally wouldn't be able to drink at home, keep a close eye on this, or you may be sailing without them. This is a simple one. The most important tip on this list, and I guarantee you will only make this mistake once. If you are flying to the port, don't fly the day of your cruise. Delays, weather, missed connections, canceled flights, it leads to travel anxiety, and who needs that? No thanks. Fly at least a day early, splash out a few bucks for a hotel. After all, you spent thousands on your trip just to save a couple dollars on hotel. Why risk it? There you go, 15 of our best tips for first time and new cruisers. This was just the tip of the iceberg. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Check out our other tips and tricks videos too. Leave us a comment below, and thanks for watching.